Well, there's nothing like putting that final coat of wax on a very special project. Welcome. This is the Little Bear rocking chair. As you see, it's a small chair. It's a child's chair. And the chair has got a little bear carved into the splat back here. And the little bear is symbolic of my grandson's little bear that he carries with him all the time. I gave my grandson a little stuffed bear, a teddy bear, when he was born. He's now 2 years old, and that was the motivation for designing and building him a rocking chair. He seemed to like my big rocking chair that most of you have probably seen before, and he would push it and he'd say rock, rock. And for years, woodworkers would ask me, why don't you design a children's rocker? And my answer was always, for what child, what size? Well, when my grandson was born, it gave me the motivation to do that. He's 2 years old, and at 2 years of age, he fits this chair very nicely, and I think it will fit him until probably 4.5 or 5 years of age, according to how he grows. So we'll have to see about that. But that's the question, is what size? Well, I took my original plans for the rocker and I scaled them down. And so this is a scaled down version somewhat of my big rocking chair. But as you see, there are many things that have been changed. So let's go over those things that make it different and make it the same as the rocker and get you prepared to build the Little Bear rocking chair. Just to give you an idea of scale, this is a leg from the regular rocking chair design compared to the size of this chair. So there's a huge difference there. Let's go over the differences. I'm going to put this aside. The seat is actually the same seat that I build for my rocking chairs. On the big rocking chair, the seat is like 21 deep and 20 wide. Here, this is just a little over 14 inches deep and a little over 14 inches wide. So by scale, we're talking about a lot smaller. But the way it's built is the same as the Big Smile seat. The seat is made up of 5 seat boards that are joined at bevels, and the bevels give it that nice smile. The seat bowl itself is excavated using the bandsaw and actually a grinder to sculpt it out, and some other tools also, which you'll see. The legs have got some new lines. What I like about the lines of this leg is it curves toward the front and it curves toward the front here. In other words, it's just a nice little curve there instead of being straight. They're not turned at all. And of course, we celebrate the joinery, which is still a set of notches in the back and in the front that are routed on top and bottom to make a tenon pop out. Dados cut into the front legs and in the back legs to fit in and give it that beautiful joint that we celebrate. We like celebrating our joinery, and we try to do it real well. Well, there's some other things too. There's the back leg is actually at 90 degrees to the seat back here. But we get some splay above the seat where it splays out this way. And the way we do that is I cut some off of the inside of the arm, glue it to the outside of the arm, and then recut it with a bandsaw to give it that nice little flare out to the side. It gives it some shape. I like that. It's something that I've used on my high back version of my dining chair to give it some nice curves. Curves are good. Now, the next thing is there's a difference in back support. We have a splat instead of 5 separate spindles. It's one splat, but it has that same curve with lumbar support here and then support for the head up here. Fits nicely. And I've got a nice center line here where I glued what is really 2 to 4 spindle profiles together to make this one nice piece. It's mortised in up here, it's mortised in down there, and the reason for that was I didn't want the child to get their hands and fingers stuck between spindles and give them something to grab onto that as they would move the chair around that may not survive the punishment that a child could give it. So it also gave me an opportunity to carve this low relief of a bear here, which is something that my grandson carries with him wherever he goes. He's got this little bear. This is, quote, Lovey. And I thought this would be a nice place for something like that, to give some attention to the fact that it is a child's chair. So that's where the little bear came from. I was going to cut in some eyes and a mouth and all that sort of stuff, but the way it is, like the way I left it is just with that outline. My grandson or whoever views it, they can think of the bear the way they would like to think of the bear. Give it its own personality instead of a personality that I would give it. Now, at the top, we've got a headrest. Instead of the headrest being mounted between the back legs, it's mounted to the back legs. And that's very different. But I wanted a departure from the old to give a chance for some new lines. And let's see what you think. In the back, I carved a different profile for some horns. They kind of bulge out like this and come around. So I carved this whole headrest up here and gave everything kind of some new lines. I hope you like that. It was just a lot of fun to do. And then we have a change with our sleds. Instead of the sleds being made completely of laminates that are glued on a form, I wanted to have a sled that had a more open radius that wouldn't rock as quickly as the big rocker, because safety for children is of the utmost importance, and they're apt to tip it over or whatever. So instead of a tighter radius, the more open radius gives it a little less rock, but just enough. And in the back, we still have that great reverse curve. And if you tip it back like this, which a kid will do, it won't tip over, which is nice. So there is a reason for this recurve here. Now, just to highlight where it came from, design-wise, I decided to stack up some transitions, put a little piece of ebony here. I mean, you could use a different contrasting color, but put a piece of ebony there in a stack of 5 transitions so we could have that transition from the legs into this solid piece. Yeah, this is just a solid piece that is easier to cut out than having to stack it up on the form and all that sort of stuff. I want to take a minute to go over the lines on the chair. There are some definite hard lines where a roundover comes together with a crown. A crown is just a slight rounding over from a center line out to a hard or soft line. A roundover is more complete. It rounds almost 25% of a circle. That's a roundover. Here's a roundover here, and it's crowned back to the inside. So we have crowns, and we have roundovers. We have roundovers, we have crowns. They're all over the chair. We also have S-curves. The seat bowl itself is a big S-curve. The sled is a big S-curve. There are S-curves on the arms, back leg. There are S-curves everywhere. This splat right here, this line actually makes an S-curve. There are S-curves everywhere. The S-curve is attractive because it comes from nature. We see S-curves everywhere around us in nature. And that's what makes it beautiful. There are also hollows. There are hollows in several places. And hollows are another one of those elements. We have hard lines, we have soft lines, hard lines. The lines pull our eyes all over the chair. And it makes it something very special. Now, it takes a while to do the sculpting. If you understand all the lines and the elements, the roundovers, the S-curves, the crowns, the hollows, then you'll have a much easier job trying to sculpt yours to your taste. I think it's a chair that you're going to enjoy building. I think it's a chair that the child will love to sit in. And I think it's a chair that will make you smile. There may be a Big Bear chair in the future too. We'll just have to see. But right now, we have the Little Bear rocking chair.